Hey guys, it's me. I just wanted to do a quick video on our book for book club, Is Everyone Really Equal? By Oslam Sensoy and Robin DiAngelo. I hope that you guys have had a chance to look at the book or check it out from the library or get it from Amazon. I've really enjoyed what I've read so far. Sorry it's been so long since I updated. It's just been kind of a crazy 4 weeks. But anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about the appendix in the back of the book. It's on page 165. So it was really helpful for me, actually. I wish I had something like this the first time I started looking at social justice issues and thinking about what it means to be a white woman in America and things like that. So it was really helpful for me, and I hope that it's just as helpful for you. So she goes through 5 principles for positive, constructive engagement. And the first one is you don't know what you don't know. Strive for intellectual humility. I think that's true for all of us, regardless of what situation we find ourselves in. We all have to remember that we don't have all the answers, and we're all learning new things all the time. The next one, everyone has an opinion. Opinions are not the same as informed knowledge. So she gave this example of how an astronomy student went to class and said, I think Pluto's a planet, and got into a debate with their professor. And eventually, at the end of the day, there are scientific requirements for planets that you have to meet, and whether or not Pluto meets those isn't based on opinion. And it's kind of the same thing with some social justice issues. There's research-based fact out there of how the world works, the systems that exist around us, and what it means for us, and what generally different groups of people experience in life. It doesn't mean that every single person has that experience. It means that, the majority do, or a significant amount do. And so we can talk about that more as we start, continue looking at research. So please remember that sometimes there's an opinion and sometimes there's fact. And you can have an opinion about the facts, but you can't disagree with the facts because they're facts. So the next one is let go of personal anecdotal evidence and look at the broader social patterns, which kind of goes back to the last one. If we say, for example, 87% of African Americans feel like they're mistreated in this country, okay, that there's disparity between white people and people of color, okay, that's a research-based fact. So you can say, well, no, my friend Joe, he's black and he thinks that everything's hunky-dory. Well, that's nice. Joe's within the 13% who either, said they weren't sure or said that they don't think that that they do think they're treated fairly. That doesn't change the fact that 87% of African Americans think that they're not treated fairly. And I'm not 100% sure on that statistic, but it's something close to that. Based on a research study that Pew did. P-E-W is how you spell it. So if you wanted to look up that fact, I'll try to link it below in the video description. Okay, and the next one is notice your own defensive reactions and attempt to use these reactions as entry points for gaining deeper self-knowledge. You're going to hear things and experience things that make you uncomfortable. Someone might confront you about something that you've done or something that you've said or a way you've behaved, and that's okay. Anytime there's any interpersonal interactions where there's conflict, it's always uncomfortable for both sides. And so if we're committed to being kind and compassionate and considerate, then that means that we're committed to listening to each other, to learning more about each other's experiences, and that's really what social justice is all about. For starting and laying a foundation, you have to listen. You have to be willing to learn more about what other people's lives are like. And the last one is recognize how your social positionality, such as your own race, class, gender, sexuality, ability status, informs your reactions to your instructor and those whose work you study in the course. So you're going to have certain reactions to things, certain ideas to things, and they're probably going to be pretty common to other people like you in some way. Like those ways that she talked about, class, race, gender, sexuality. Those things matter. They matter because we make them matter. In our society, we've set up, you know, these stratification systems and things like that. And we've created a world where different people with different backgrounds and different identities have different experiences. And so we have to be willing to look at that, and we have to be able to look at that within ourselves, because the way that you experience something is going to be informed by your identity as, you know, your race, your gender, your class, all these different things. And race, gender, and class are really three of the bigger ones. Sexuality is another big one. Religion is another one. There's lots of different ways, lots of identities that we all have. The fact that you're a mother, a father, a son, a daughter, or, you know, whatever, you know, that's going to color the way that you see the world. And so it's important to recognize that and to be aware of it, and then recognize that somebody else might be coming from a different perspective, and that matters. So those are the 5 principles in the book about having social justice oriented conversations. And I found it really helpful to read through that. It was a great refresher for me, and hopefully for you it'll be either a refresher or a good foundation for having these conversations. Thank you so much for watching the video. Have a great night. Bye.